Today's one is a little more personal. When I started doing this, like this being traveling a lot, I'm not saying traveling full time because that's not it. But, I come from a place where we went on vacation on maybe 2 weeks every year, and that's like it. So when I started doing YouTube this February, I was like, yeah, I want to travel every month, even though it's just for a weekend or a long weekend. I want to do that every month. So traveling, it's my hobby, my passion. I live for this stuff. So when I started doing this, I thought traveling all the time would just be fun all the time. Amazing. And honestly, nobody prepared me for how exhausting it can actually be. It's crazy to hear me say that, but it just is. I'm here to be honest, and this is the honest truth. So let's talk about that side of it. Let's get into it. You know that feeling when you watch a luxury hotel review and something just doesn't add up? Welcome to Suitcase Confessions. I'm Sylvahna, and this is where I say the things most travel creators won't. Real stories, honest opinions, and the side of luxury travel nobody's showing you. Let's get into it. So the exhaustion, was there a specific moment that exhaustion hit me? I'm just thinking. I think the exhaustion hit me in Rome because I had this amazing thing planned in Rome and I did all of it. But I also had a photo shoot planned, and I know that the photo shoots are always best to do like in the beginning of the day, so really early. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was too exhausted. And that was a moment of realization that happened in Rome. There was like, what is going on? Like, this is me. I am used to getting up at 4:30 in the morning to just do everything, to get my meditation in, to go to the gym, and to just be done with my whole freaking morning routine and ready to start the day at 8:30 with me already doing my meditation, my workout at the gym, like everything. Everything is set for me at 8:30. My breakfast is in, my makeup is on, and I'm ready to start working. That is me. But I had this photo shoot planned in Rome at 7 a.m. and I just couldn't do it. I was exhausted. I couldn't wake up. And that's just a thing, that when you are in a relaxed mode, suddenly you become sick, exhausted, like whatever. But yeah, so I had that. And then after I arrived home, I was like, I need some time for myself. And of course, I didn't accept that. I didn't give myself that time because, I have to work, because I have to make money for my next trip. So yeah, I have this thing where I'm like a perfectionist and I need to keep going and going and going until I'm like, I don't know, somebody just Rapunzel slapped me in the face with her frying pan. Like until that moment happens, I just keep going. So, and I feel like that moment happened, well, a little bit in Rome, because in Rome I was not doing that photo shoot because I was just too exhausted. But it recently actually hit me. Like, you have to stop. You have to take your time and you have to think about yourself, your health, and everything. Yeah, so that happened really recently. In Rome, it was like the first 50%, and the other 50% happened like last week. So I was like, okay, I need to slow the F down and just take a chill pill. And actually, one of my freelance jobs stop or will stop within a month. So that comes at a perfect time, actually, to take a breather and just focus on myself, on my mental health, on my overall health. And the thing is that I didn't think that traveling would hit me this much because I love traveling. It is my hobby, it is my passion. And if you ask me right now, what would you love to do like full time? It is traveling. Like 100% it is traveling. But I feel like the combination of me juggling traveling and doing the content creation, because I want to like give you all the honest content. So I want to give you, I want to be able to record like everything, you know? And I hate it when I'm traveling and something happens and I forget to get my camera to record it. I hate that because I cannot really show you the thing, but it has to be me talking about the thing, you know? So that is something on my mind constantly when I'm traveling. Like, okay, do I have to get my camera? Should I record this? So that, and while that happens, I'm also really busy with work. Like, I don't even work 40 hours, I work 48. And next to that, I'm also juggling things at home. I don't know if you are someone that watches my weekly lifestyle vlogs, like my weekly vlogs at home. But if you do, then you might know that I am experiencing mice because of my very nice neighbor who is like, yeah, well, just leave it at that. So my nights of sleep are also not that great. So yeah, everything put together just makes me exhausted. So if you can like transport me into a life where I can only like travel and focus on that, that would be freaking amazing. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, the thought of me, you know, when I first thought, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to travel more often and I'm going to visit more places and I'm just going to, this is pretty crazy, take care of myself more because I love traveling, you know? And then you have the thought of like, okay, I want to take care of myself more. I love traveling. Traveling is my passion, my hobby, so I'm just going to do that more. And then everything will be better. But yeah, that didn't really happen that way. So I really don't like this. I really don't like this because I love traveling and I want to enjoy it and I want to be able to say, okay, I'm traveling right now. I'm living my best life. I'm enjoying it and I'm not worried about anything that happens at home. I'm not thinking about my freelance work that has to go through a pause basically because I am not home working, but I'm traveling right now. I wish I could just put that away, you know? But yeah, fun fact, before we left for Paris, I had a really nasty experience with the mice that we had. I have been mentioning the mice to where at my apartment. I have been mentioning the mice to them since freaking December. And they have been ignoring it and ignoring it until I had like, I think maybe the week before we left for Paris, I had the worst nightmare, but it was real, you know? So basically, I was sleeping. I felt something on my face. And when I feel something on my face, I just wake up a little bit, like slowly, like, what is that? And I just turn around and fall back to sleep. But not this time because I felt something on my face. I wiped it off. I opened my eyes a little bit and I saw a freaking mouse like diving in between my two pillows. I saw its tail going down and I just was like wide awake immediately. And I looked to the side on the ground next to my wall and I just saw it running. Like there was just a mouse in my freaking face and I just cannot sleep here anymore. It was like, that was the horror. So this episode wasn't really meant to be about myself, but I just wanted to mention that so that you have an idea where the exhaustion can come from. But yeah, it has been truly exhausting, like doing everything. And I'm traveling because I love traveling and I want to keep traveling. But with everything happening right now, I'm like, yeah, I need some more peace from somewhere. And I'd rather not give my traveling away. I'd rather have that the mice are just disappearing and that I can sleep well in my own bed. I rather have that my freelance jobs are not so demanding and just give me some space. And for the record, I have 3 freelance jobs at the moment. They're all part-time, obviously. So I have one of 24 hours, one of 16 hours, and one of 8 hours. And this is the first time, actually, since I've been freelancing, that I'm doing it this way. So before this, I just had like one full-time freelance job, and that was my job, and I just did what I had to do for the job. But right now, I have 3 part-time freelance jobs. But somehow they are all expecting you to be available 5 days a week. But I'm not getting paid 5 days a week. But that's also pretty exhausting. So what I want to do here is to just give you an honest look in my life right now. And I don't want to complain like a lot, because I feel like I have so much to be grateful for. So I don't want to complain a lot, but I also feel like it's important to have these conversations and to be honest, because basically honesty is a big part of who I am on YouTube, on Instagram, and on all my channels, because I feel like it's super important to be honest and to stay honest about everything. And this just comes with territory. And I don't want to be one of those people who acts like everything is perfect, that my life is perfect, because it's not. It's not perfect. And nobody's life is perfect, by the way. Even the ones that you feel like their life might be perfect, it's not. They're just not honest about it. And I feel like it's important to be honest, because there's so much dishonesty going on online. And I know that there are so many young people who feel like they have to work harder and do more because their life isn't as perfect as that person that they're following, and their life is perfect. So they are burning themselves out. And I feel like it's important to stay honest about it and show that nobody's life is perfect. You know, it can suck sometimes, but it can also be beautiful. You have to like pick your fights. And I feel like, and especially with like the Instagram era thing, that It seems like everybody's life is so perfect and nothing is wrong and they're just living their best life. And, you know, it's great for good content, but it sucks for other people because they get so insecure about their own life. And I feel like we just don't talk about that enough. There are so many people who are so insecure about their life because it doesn't seem that perfect like other lives online. And they just have suicide thoughts because of that. And I feel like we have to talk about it. We have to be honest because there's literally no life on this planet that is perfect all the time. And I just think that's super important to keep it real, like on all counts, on the travel content, but also on the life content, you know? It's not all bikini bodies and yachts and champagne and amazing life and not having a job that they have to go back to. It's not. So, a very almost depressing, but no, I think this is a very real episode that I really wanted to create because I was literally one of those people like 5 years ago that I thought, oh my God, those travel creators, they are not going to the office. They are just traveling full time, living their best life. They have a perfect life. It's not the truth. Okay. I just wanted to be honest about that. Yeah. So getting into the traveling side of things, since that's what I basically wanted to do in this episode, it is amazing to be able to travel as much as I have been for the past couple of months. But what people forget, and what I also used to forget, and what also the people around me forget, is that because I travel and I always take someone with me. Because so I either take my sister or my mother, and I basically never go alone. But the thing is, it is pretty difficult because the person that I'm taking with me, which is so either my mother or my sister, they are coming with me and they're always talking about a vacation, and they don't have I wouldn't say they don't have anything to worry about, but they are literally relaxing the whole way through while we're on their trip. And for me, it's a trip and it's not vacation because I'm not complaining here, by the way, about this, but I do have the pressure of always having to be on. Like I said at the beginning, I'm always thinking about, okay, should I take my camera out? Should I record something? Should I just enjoy it? Because I feel like I have to record everything, and that otherwise I come home and I find that I didn't record it and I regret it and I don't have it for my content, and that moment just sucks. And I know that it sucks because I've lived through it. But it's hard to actually enjoying everything if you're also thinking about, I have to record this. I have to do something fun with this, and it's not just taking your camera out and just press record, but you actually have to engage with the whole thing. So for me, I want to keep everything as real as I possibly can. And definitely on YouTube. So for YouTube, I just get my camera out and I try to film it as fun as I can, to show everything that I can. But if I want to do something like that on my phone, for example, for Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I have to do something. And that is constantly going through your mind, like, what should I do? Should I just record the thing? Should I record myself with the thing? What do I do if I record myself with the thing? Constantly those thoughts. And that is what nobody talks about. And something I also suck at, like for real, is unpacking my suitcase when I get home. So my suitcase can be in my living room for like 3-4 days. It can be when I got home last Sunday, really late, by the way, that I have to say that. But I put my suitcase in a living room. I had to wake up really early on Monday for my work. That suitcase has been there for like pretty much the whole week until I had some peace of mind to actually unpack everything. But yeah, I suck at that. And that also gives me a headache. It doesn't genuinely change the way I travel or what I look for in a trip. I am constantly busy with doing the fun things in the trip and really making sure that I do everything in the trip because I just want to show you as much as I can. And for example, what I just had in Paris is that I was looking forward to the Notre Dame so much. I lived in Paris in 2023, as I recently also mentioned, but the Notre Dame was closed because, it had burned down and they had to build it back up. And the time, like the last time before that I actually went inside was so long ago. I believe it was 2016 or something that I actually went inside. No, I think it actually was longer ago. So I was so looking forward to actually get inside the Notre Dame. And we arrived and I went with my sister to Paris and we lived together while we were in Paris, while we were living in Paris. And I told her maybe 3 times, make sure that we don't have to buy a ticket to get inside. And she was like, no, the internet says it's going to be really peaceful and we can just get a ticket there. And I was constantly like, okay, trust her when she says it, trust her when she says it. And then we arrived and the whole freaking square was full of people that were in line to get a ticket. And it's seriously, if I would have gotten in line, it would have taken me like at least 2 hours in line before I actually went inside. That broke my heart. And as much as that broke my heart to not being able to go inside finally, it sucked even more because I was so excited to show it on the vlog. And it really stayed in my mind for a couple of hours at least. So it messed with my day at least for a couple of hours after that because I wasn't able to show it on the vlog. So I could just show you as much as I could in 2023. Just the outside. And those moments really, really sucks. And that is what is different now than before when I actually went traveling and went on a trip and didn't actually record travel vlogs and all those things. So that is a small difference in that. So I don't know if you might be someone who also travels a lot. Maybe you're also a travel creator. Maybe you're just someone who just travels a lot. If you travel a lot, I'm super curious to know, do you feel this too? Or am I the only one? I'm not thinking that I'm the only one, but so please tell me, please tell me that I'm not the only one in this. But yeah, here we are. I'm still enjoying everything. I love my trips. I love creating content about my trips. And I am always so excited when I get to edit the vlogs and schedule the vlogs to go live. So definitely make sure to subscribe and follow on YouTube for the travel vlogs that inspired this episode basically. There are a lot of travel vlogs online as we speak. I believe the Paris travel vlog and the Disneyland vlog is also online at this point. So thanks for sticking with me through this one. It felt good to finally say it out loud. I feel a little guilty now, but it felt good. So next week, we're switching gears completely because I'm sharing an unpopular opinion. Maybe not so unpopular, but Disneyland as an adult. I am talking about that. I am talking about Disneyland as an adult. As an adult who truly loves Disneyland. And all you haters can just turn around and walk away because I don't care about what you have to say. And you thinking that we are going to Disneyland to spy on kids is insane. I just wanted to say that. Okay, I would much rather be happier, actually. This is a little sneak peek for next week's episode, but I would be much happier if Disneyland could just give us a child-free day. Like, just enjoy it without all the screaming and the crying around us. And yeah. Anyways, so come back and see if you agree with me. And that's the confession for today.